Okay everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. Today we are going to replace the parts on the inside of the shower head faucet. It is leaking and this is what we're replacing. The Delta RP32104. We're going to take care of the O-rings on the inside and clean everything up and be done with it. First, we need to make sure that we're making this video as accurate as possible, so I want to use what the typical homeowner has. We have a screwdriver, we have some petroleum jelly, we also have a standard tweezers, and a compass if you have one. That'll offer us our pick, because most people don't carry O-ring picks. So, let's begin. First, we're going to take this thing and turn it up. This little cap, there's actually a pin behind here. You just pry it off, and it pops off and exposes your set screw. Next, we will take this screw out of the center, paying attention to exactly where everything was, so it may be best to actually bring this back over to the end stop, pull it off. Last, this part just pops right off. Then we will proceed by pulling these two screws out. So, we'll pull those two screws out. Because this will help us to expose the parts on the inside. Some people may try to fight with this, but it's not worth it. It's easier to just pull the screws out, take the tension off, slide the parts out of the inside to what you need to do. So, pull the screws out, grab your plate with your hands, pull. Now we've exposed the insides. Now, this part here, you just have to grab with your hand and twist. It's just the O-ring on the inside. And you twist it like this, and it comes off. Next, depending how hard your water is, you should be able to spin this collar off by hand. If not, you'll just use a channel lock pliers and be very light so you don't destroy this ring. So grab a hold with your hand, untwist, comes out. Next, this is what we're after, the parts that are behind here. So we'll delicately pull this out, and now we have some water. Obviously, hopefully you shut the water off at this point, and if you've got a lower spot for faucet, open that up. So, now that we have pulled this off and we've exposed the entire part, what we have, make sure you pay attention to this part right here on the top. I don't know if you can see that, but it says hot side on the top. And that's important because the hot is on the top side, and you can really have your faucet backwards if you don't. Now, if we take our time and we look to the inside, we will see the parts to which we need to replace. We have a tweezers to reach in and grab these little parts that just come in a kit in general. It's a little sleeve, as they call it, also with a new spring. So we're going to be placing those here on the inside. And I'll pull the camera up here so you can look. And if you look inside, you can see where those parts are lying at. Now the other part we're after is this O-ring right back there. That O-ring is what we need the pick for. And so we're going to use our pick, and we're going to do our best and grab a hold of that. So we'll reach in and grab the other one like so. Pull it out. And in this case, it's a double one. So you want to stick your tool in there just like so. And when you stick it in there, you end up getting this double O-ring out. Now, this double O-ring is what you have. Now what we're going to do is what people should always do with O-rings and parts. Take a little bit of this petroleum jelly here. Put some on your fingers. And always, I always like to get a little bit on the O-rings there. You don't need an excessive amount, but you do want some. It does help things go together easier, and it really does help them not get destroyed so fast. So it's just good practice. So there we have this up on our new O-rings. We're gonna put those right back in there by hand. And then that's what we got. Now as far as the sleeves and the pieces go, it's easiest just to use the tweezers to put these things in. They're so far back in there. Just use the tweezers, put them back in like one. Get some petroleum jelly in this black color here. Put this back in there like so. And then now we've got one O-ring, one seated collar in. And now we'll take the tweezers again. We'll put that part back in there. And then we'll go like this, put this one in. And now we have the whole thing back together. It's back to where it started. Now, little petroleum jelly in your fingers. Go ahead and rub some on the inside, okay? It's good practice. Once again, it keeps things moving freely. Just a really light coating. Then, as you grab a hold of your piece again, there's an O-ring here. So this particular O-ring as well, go ahead and give that a little bit of petroleum jelly too. And then make sure the hot side is up again. And then slip it back in like so. And your faucet's ready to go again. So now, last, we will take a hold of our collar. And this is set back in place. And we'll spin it back down. Just hand tight. It doesn't need to be over super tight, but it needs to be in. And we're going to take this again. Petroleum jelly will help this thing slide on easier. Just get the inside, a little bit of it in there. Just helps things go back together easier. Grab a hold with your hands. And with a little luck, we can go ahead and get this thing back in right where it belongs. Slide that collar down like so. And you make sure you put this back on. So it's Delta. Put your two screws in. Feed them by hand, naturally, always. You kind of fish them in a little bit. And you'll feel it bottom out. Oh, I'm sorry, the bottom one first. There we go. Bottom that one out. Grab a hold of the screwdriver. Bottom this one in. Oops. Sometimes you gotta fish with them just a little bit. Oh. A little collar in there can be tricky. There she is. Come on. Go ahead and tighten it back down. Like so. And we'll go ahead and tighten this one down like so. And then we'll put this back on, and it slides back on just as it came off. We'll put this piece on, came on just as it came off. Put this screw back in, put it back together. As you can see, the inside of that's just a little snap. Take a hold of this, snap it back on, and that's all there is to it. I hope you found this video helpful.